Now, I'm not going to talk about that plant that you got back there that's wilting away, poor thing. But I will be talking about the Ficus Benjamina. So the Ficus Benjamina, let me show you right here, this baby. I'll show you a close-up, don't worry. It's also known as weeping fig. Wow, it still looks like shit when I see it through the camera. This is your lesson, okay, for today. This is class Ficus Benjamina 101. The Ficus Benjamina prefers bright yet indirect light, just like, you know, most ficuses do. It can tolerate some shade, but please avoid putting it in straight sunlight, as it may lead to leaf scalding, you know, when they start getting really hard and like turning brown. Yeah, you don't want that, because that's a dead leaf. When the plant itself is not getting enough sunlight, it will start losing some of its bottom leaves first. So watch out for that. If it starts losing leaves at the bottom, you need brighter sunlight. So now temperatures. So you want to keep your Benjamina in temperatures between 60 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid exposing your Benjamina to any sudden changes in temperature, any sudden temperature drops, any drafts, any drafty windows, because it is very sensitive to these things. You want to keep it at a steady temperature. Humidity. When it comes to humidity, the Ficus Benjamina enjoys higher humidity. So if you feel like the air in your house is dry, consider getting a humidifier for your plant. There's also a few other ways that you can, like, you know, increase the humidity around your plants. Like in my last video, put your plants together, you know, to create that little bubble of humidity around them. Mist your plants regularly to make sure the leaves, to maintain the humidity. Yeah, there you go. Water your plant when the top inch or 2.5 centimeters of soil are dry to the touch. Be careful not to over water, because of course root rot, it's a nemesis of a lot of plant parents. During the winter or colder months where there's like not a lot of sunlight happening, water it less, not as often. Use room temperature water. Now, Benjamina, it is a very finicky plant. So to stay safe, I would definitely recommend using filtered water or like bottled water. I know it's bougie, that Fiji water, but please make sure that it is in well drained soil, you know, that it has a good drainage. You really do not want this plant to sit in water. Like I said, it is finicky as, so literally anything that just like changes for it, anything that it doesn't like, it will start to die at the smallest inconvenience. Which brings me to the soil. You want very rich potting mix, something that's well draining. You know, you can use a mix of peat moss, perlite, and sand that usually keeps it very well drained. You can repot your ficus every 2 to 3 years, or when you see that it's outgrown its container. But just try to stay during the springtime when you're repotting. This is the best time for most plants, like indoor plants, to repot, as it is the growing season, and it helps them to like recover from the stress that it is being repotted. Okay, so now for fertilizing, get a good liquid fertilizer for your tree. You want to fertilize every 2 to 4 weeks while it's growing. During the winter, if it's like slowing down its growth, fertilize less, or not fertilize would be better. Pruning. Prune your baby regularly. It needs haircuts. Prune it to the shape that you want. Also, you can like pinch off any new growth that's happening, and that will encourage like a thicker, bushier foliage. And you really do just want to remove any like yellowing leaves. Keep this baby green. You know what I'm saying? And everybody gets yellow leaves. Don't feel bad. I gotta give you a pep talk. Don't feel bad about getting yellow leaves. Just take them off. Everybody gets yellow leaves, no matter how hard we try. You want to keep an eye out for pests. Inspect those little leaves. The common ones are spider mites, mealybugs, or scale insects. For those, you want to use insecticidal soap, or neem oil is a very common one as well. My favorite is the alcohol, but whichever floats your boat, use it. Just get those little frickers off of your plant so they don't eat them. When it comes to like diseases and stuff, it is very susceptible to like leaf drop, which is caused by any sudden stress, any sudden changes in environment. Okay, so like I said, this plant is very sensitive. That's one way of putting it. And it will literally just, try to off itself at any minor inconvenience. Now, one thing that is very important to note here is that this plant is toxic to pets if it is ingested. So if you have a cat or a dog or any type of animal that likes to nibble on plants, just keep it out of its reach. Or I don't know, if it's better for you to not get it at all, that's okay too. It's a very beautiful plant to have, but you gotta keep your baby safe. This plant, so it might take some time for it to adjust to like a new environment when you bring it home. Don't fret. Don't just let it acclimate and just kind of trust the process, I guess. And if you just take care of it properly, it's such a beautiful plant to have. It's worth the sleepless nights. Yes, let's go through this one more time. Bright indirect light. Temperature, keep it between 60 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 24 degrees Celsius. Humidity. High humidity. If you need, get a humidifier or mist it frequently. This is my little watering can right here. Water it when the first inch or 2.5 centimeters of the soil are dry. Water it with room temperature water. Special plants, room temperature, Fiji. The soil, you want a rich potting mix, that's got a lot of nutrients in it, that's well draining as well. You can mix perlite, peat moss, and sand to get a good soil for this plant that's well draining. You can repot it every 2 to 3 years, or when you feel that it's outgrown its container. But you gotta make sure that it's during the springtime, so it gives it a chance to recover during the growth season. Give your baby haircuts regularly to maintain shape or to encourage growth. Pinch off any new growth to encourage that bushier foliage. Spider mites, mealybugs, or scale insects, use insecticidal soap or neem oil. Just make sure that you're keeping an eye out for these little bitches. This is a toxic plant if it is ingested, so make sure if your animal likes to chew or nibble on your plant's leaves, keep it away from this one. Anyway, that is all for this the Ficus Benjamina. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Come back for the next one. See ya.